glad to have anybody here join me. I got 2 hours to fill, and I don't want the people to get bored listening to just me.
If you want me to stay, I will.
Well, you probably need to get some rest too. So,
okay, you just choose to ask me because I got to sleep already. So you let me know if you need me to come up.
But you probably need to get some rest too. So. I just got a.
Okay, you just choose to ask me because I got to sleep already. So you let me know if you need me to come up.
I'm hearing an echo already. I got to turn something off.
Live stream. So on your actual live stream, it should be open somewhere in your tabs.
There. I had a tab open I didn't see.
Right. Well, you wanted to have it open. What you want to do is get your chat out of there probably, but you'll be fine with this comment section here.
Yeah, it's hard to keep track. I don't have my big computer set up yet where I have my extra monitor to monitor chat and stuff with. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the YouTube up on the screen here, my big TV, without having the sound on, so I can watch that chat scroll by.
Okay.
And then I won't have to try to see it all on this little laptop screen.
Yep, that makes sense. All right, I'll disappear, and if you need me, you holler.
Okay, thanks a lot, Donovan. I appreciate it.
You bet. I can't wait to go on the boat with you. So excited.
It's going to be a fun trip. I think we've got it arranged where Larry can go. I was up till 3 a.m. last night talking with him, and nice. I got an email to Cindy to see what it would cost to add him to my room. So. I told him, I said, if worst comes to worst, you just pay the additional price because I'm already paying double rate for me anyway. So
you're so nice.
So it'd be cool to be able to have him. I'd hate to have him miss out on us. So.
Oh, are we live right now?
I think we're supposed to be.
Okay, well, I'm going to go away and let you do your thing.
All righty. Will do. Thanks a bunch.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay. Uh-oh. Now I'm gone. I don't know if anybody can hear me or not. I just suddenly went blank. Uh-oh. Where am I at? Yeah. Okay, something happened here. Okay. Well, hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm not seeing me, so I'm not sure if I'm showing up. Thought we had it all working, and okay, looks like on YouTube I'm showing up. I just can't see myself on the screen when I'm by myself. So I still haven't. It's been a while since I've done all this. You got to excuse me. Sorry about all that. Let's put it up there. So okay, there it is. Okay, well, welcome everybody. And sorry it was such a cluster on to get started here. Got a couple hours to fill here, and I'm glad to see we got so many people coming in the chat already. That's wonderful. Let's see, we got Michael Anns here, and Call Me V, and Najuma. Good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here and joining us. And thanks to Donathan for the help he was giving me. And so I thought I had it all worked out real easily until I went live this morning. It's like it figures you wait till the last minute and something goes wrong. But hey, like you said earlier on the other chat, you said you learn by your mistakes. Well, God, I must be a genius then. Hello, Fairy Dust. Welcome to the party. I haven't taken a quick look at about what our totals are up to. I know we probably got a long ways to go yet. So let's get some money generated here, and I'll post a link here if anybody wants to come up and join us and chat. And we'll just make a big party out of it while everybody else gets some rest. I know Lorraine and Donovan and Kenny and some of you people have been up hours and hours and hours. At least I got a little bit of sleep last night, so I got about 3 hours, 4 hours, something like that. So I'm good. Been a great event. I've tried to get in and out with all the other things they had going on to see what was going on. and I've been enjoying everybody else's efforts. So it's been doing well. If you haven't donated yet, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and do so. We've got a lot of good things to do, and we're going to need money to do it with. So, hey, welcome, Gary. Yes, Gary, I'm actually home. This has been one of the longest stretches I think I've actually been home in between trips. I'm only home like 3 or 4 days, long enough to do laundry and repack. So it's been kind of strange to be here this long. And I got close by going to the cruise port yesterday when I took Kim and Megan for their cruise, but it felt strange going to the cruise port and not staying on it for myself. But we'll do that in another week, because this coming up a week from yesterday, we'll be back on a cruise again on the Horizon. So it'll be my first of 4 visits to the Horizon, the 4th being this cruise in October. So by the time we get to October, I'm going to know that ship forward and backward. So that should be fun. And it'll be kind of nice to be able to make friends all this year on that ship, and then see them all when we come back on the cruise in October. That's one of the things I do like about when you repeat on a ship. You get to enjoy the things that you enjoyed before. Good morning, Paul. Welcome. Glad to see you. Lorraine, hey, glad to have you back in here with us. I hope everybody has had a chance to get rested up and feel good and chatty today, because I sure don't want to have to try to talk for 2 hours. I know I've met a lot of you people already in different cruises and events. Amy, welcome. Glad to see you as well. I was watching you last night before I got tied up with Larry. So, and I still appreciate all the help you gave me when we did the live on the Pride back in October. So that was a lot of fun. I've been trying to get more lives going on other cruises, but a lot of the other artists have not always been as receptive to it. I about had the piano guy on the Magic last week talked into it, but unfortunately the Wi-Fi there was so bad and it was hard to do much. And then like the day before, he thought maybe it wasn't a good idea, which was fine. That just meant we could have fun without having to worry about things, because the last thing I want to do is do anything that makes them uncomfortable, because then it doesn't feel natural. But has anybody here been on the Magic before? Because Lewis, the piano man, oh my God, he was awesome. He was definitely the most entertaining aspect on that ship. And as you probably saw on my Facebook page, if anybody was following, there was an awful lot of rush to get in there, because there was such a crowd all the time, and we had those of us that like to sit right at the piano bar. And there were nights we were in there nearly 2 hours ahead of time just to save our spot, because the bar was closed normally, and it didn't open up until like a half an hour before he was due to play. Well, we learned how to get in there. So we would get in early, and we'd have to go to another bar to get our drinks, because there was nobody in there working yet. So by the time the staff showed up, all of a sudden the bar would be full, most of the lounge would be full, and it's like they just kind of like what the heck? But we wanted to make sure to get our good seats, so we made it. Hey, the astute tourist, glad to see you here. Thanks for joining us today. But okay, yep, I saw. Okay, hold on, Donovan's. Okay. Now I got to figure out when I hit the 3 dots, Donovan. It doesn't. All it gets me is put you in timeout or to block you. So I wonder if I'm logged in under. What did I do? Hey, Kenny. Good morning. Glad to see you here as well. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning.
Did you sleep well?
Yeah, I slept pretty good, actually.
How long did you sleep?
About 3 hours.
Hey, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet you're sore though at the way is watching the way the positions you were sleeping.
Do right now?
I bet you're sore. I got a sore neck or something. Watching those
No.
positions.
No, I sleep like that all the time.
Oh my goodness.
Are you wanting to make Donovan a moderator on the YouTube side?
Okay, maybe that's what I was on the wrong side. I was still on the
You
StreamYard
got,
side.
in order to make him a moderator, you got to click on the 3 dots beside his comment. On the
I was trying to do it on the StreamYard side. I forgot I was
it
on the
doesn't
wrong.
it doesn't work on the StreamYard side.
Yeah, I got it wrong. Let me go find him on the. Okay.
Now you'll have to mute your YouTube side.
Yeah, I've got that muted already.
Okay.
Okay, it's not giving me that up. Maybe I'm logged in under the wrong account here. Let's see. Yep, I got to log. I'm logged in as my personal account and not my other account. Let me switch. Okay. Okay, there we go.
Good morning, the Stu Tours, Paul Vines, Michael Ann, Amethyst Haze Adventures, RV on the Wayside, Sir Gary of the Beaches, Call Me B, Travel with Special Abilities, Najuma Brown, Kimberly Pink Queen, everybody in the chat that I missed. Can I post the donate stuff? Sure. Let me go find the link.
Hey, there, I got logged in right now. Now Donovan should be a moderator. Okay. Finally figured that out. I was logged in.
Is it a mod?
Yep, should be. Yeah, I was logged in with my personal account instead of my Dewey's Destinations account, and that's how my StreamYard is set up. So I had to get the right account.
Okay.
So now he should be able to.
But yeah, thanks for bringing me up on your show.
Oh, how many times have I been up on yours?
To be honest with you, I can't remember, to be honest.
I know this sounds weird, but we spent many nights together before.
Yes, we have.
Oh, so between you and Anthony, I don't know which one I've spent the longest time in the middle of the night online with.
And I know it was a pleasure and an honor to get to meet you in person when we met in Branson.
Oh, I enjoyed that trip. I was so glad that I fit that in to make the trip, because I met so many cool people there. That was the exciting part. Okay, Gary, hold on a second, and boom. Now Gary's
I'll get to meet you. I'll get to meet you in October again.
Yes, and I'll get a whole bunch of new people on that cruise. So I'm looking forward to that. Every cruise I look forward to, because there's always so many new exciting people I get to meet.
Yeah.
Morning, Cookie. Welcome to the family here.
Good morning, Cookie.
And I've got some people I'll get to see soon, because I've got this weekend. I've got the Horizon, which I don't know who's all. I know Kim and her son are going to be on that. Kim from Two Travel and Tour. and it's his birthday cruise. So I don't know if anybody else will be there. It's just basically us, but I'm sure there'll be other people we run across. And then the March cruise on March 5th for the celebration. I'll be on the Vista, and I know there's a bunch of people that are going to be on that one. And then I go back to Illinois after that one, and then come right back and be on the Meraviglia next month and towards the end of March, and the Oasis on the beginning of April. So I've got a bunch coming up here to see people on. And
are you going to be going? Oh, I understand. Sir Gary of the Beaches. But I was actually told that there's a different one there that I could try as well, besides in Ruby Falls.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think I'll be able to make it to Helen because I think that conflicts with another trip, because that's in March too, right? At the end of March?
Yeah, it's actually at the beginning of March, actually. It's like the 11th through the 13th.
Okay, yeah, I won't be back from the Vista cruise in time for that, because we don't get back from that till the 12th. And then that day I fly directly back up to Indianapolis, and then I'll go over to Illinois because I sold my house, so I got to go get that finished up and taken care of. And then I'll have to get back down here with the rest of my stuff, and on the 20th I'm back on another ship again.
So your home base is in Florida, right?
Yep, this is home now. The other place is just a house that's a pain in my neck right now.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Gary. What do you mean, Gary? I'm not around. I'm always around. You just never know where I'll be around at. Said he was surprised to see I was still home, because I'm normally not home this big of a stretch at a time. I get home long enough to do laundry and repack, and then I'm usually out and going again. So originally I was supposed to go to Illinois this week, and these 2 weeks in between the cruises. But once I got all that snow and cold, I said, forget that. I didn't want to care to do that. I've gotten spoiled with all this Florida weather now.
Yeah, well, that's one state I've never been to either.
Well, we'll change that come October.
I would, I don't know if you've seen Naj in the chats or not.
I'm not sure. Who are we looking at?
She's a supporter of so many channels. Naj Ruqui.
I don't think I've seen her.
Anyway, she comes to many chats, especially in the RV community and things. She supports so many channels. She lives in Florida as well. And,
are you driving down here or flying down here?
I'm actually flying.
Okay.
Actually, Troy S is actually flying with me this time.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Because I'm going to try to go through the pre-check TSA this time. Because that way I don't have to go through so much as far as taking my clothes off and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that can be a real. I quickly learned that you want to sign up for all that stuff. The pre-check, the global entry. I got the clear, because I didn't have the clear for a while because the places I was flying out of didn't have it. But now here in Fort Lauderdale, we have clear. So anything I can do to make all that simpler without having to undo everything, I'm happy.
Yeah. Because remember back in back in January was when I took my very first flight. I went out to Quartzsite. I don't know if you remember me doing that or not.
No, I don't. In January?
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't home much on January, so.
But I took my very first flight, and of course I learned quite a bit from it. Then I learned that you can't have nothing over 3 ounces, and you can't have nothing sharp in your pockets or anything like that.
Yeah. What catches me a lot of times going through the security scanner, I'm always good about emptying all my pockets and stuff and putting it in my little bag that I carry with me.
Yeah.
But I always forget the earbuds. And it's like it goes off and I'm like, what? And then all of a sudden, oh yeah. So now I try not to even put the earbuds in until I get through security so I don't forget them.
Well, see, I've learned that if you got anything over 3 ounces, they'll take it.
Yeah. I've lost a number of drinks that way where I thought I was smart taking it ahead of time. Well, these days it doesn't work. So.
And
so the good thing is if you at least take a water bottle, you can refill that free once you get through security. You don't have to pay all the high prices of buying a bottle drink there.
But what I do, I'm gonna put everything in my checked luggage the next time. When I fly in October.
Yeah, the more you can put in there, the less you have to worry about messing with getting on the plane.
Yeah.
And especially these days, so many people carry so much on the plane that, the least you take, the less you have to keep track of.
So, yeah. So, all my electronic devices and my toothpaste, deodorant, and all that stuff, or anything sharp that I have, I'll put in my checked luggage.
Yeah. So the only thing I carry all of course, the paperwork that I need. And then the like my charging cord and battery pack and my earbuds. And I'll carry, sometimes I'll carry some of my medicines with me, depending on how much I'm traveling, because I don't want to, get it all lost and stuff. My big issue is when I travel is I used to take just enough for the trip. Well, too many times I extended my trips, and then I wouldn't have enough medicine to cover while I was gone. So now I just take a bunch with me so I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
But even as much as I travel, I still have lots to learn yet. I'm getting better. My suitcases are getting a little lighter. I definitely used to overpack, and now I'm learning to thin that down. So. Yeah, Cookie says that they always get the pat down. What always embarrasses me when the alarm goes off, you know what usually triggers it? My groin.
Huh.
You see on the little chart the bright area that goes off, and it's like, I don't have a chastity belt on or anything. I don't know why it's going off. But for some reason, when it goes off, it usually has to do with my groin area. So they got to scan me and all that stuff. And it's like, oh, geez. It's like of all the places that get scanned, that's always the most embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I know that they tried to get me to take my belt and suspenders off.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, no, you don't want me to pull these things off. because you're gonna wind up seeing stuff you ain't gonna want to see.
Oh, I bet they've seen it all. I've never been I've had to take my belt off and shoes off before in the early days.
I kind of got by with that. They said you're gonna be sitting down. You're gonna be sitting down. You won't. I'm like, I don't care. I can still lose my pants just sitting still. Just sitting still. I said, I ain't, no. I said, no. I said,
A lot of times when I'm traveling, I try to wear pants where I don't need a belt.
I said, no, I still got to have it on because I said, I'll still lose my pants.
Yeah. I try to travel with, like, especially if I've got like a tighter pair of jeans or something that won't fall off. I'll just go without a belt. And a lot of the belts I have are the web belts, so there's not any metal on it to trigger anything. So I don't have too much problem with that, fortunately.
Because I kid you not, I learned my lesson one time a couple years ago that I tried just having a belt on in my pants, and I wound up losing my pants in the Walmart parking lot getting in the vehicle.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, so that I said from that day on, that's what I'm gonna start wearing, a belt and suspenders both, and that's exactly what I've done.
Okay, I'm trying. I gotta find the. There we go. Let's see if I can pin that. Pin message. There we go. I pinned them. Hopefully, I got the message pinned at the top of chat and YouTube now for the donation link. So,
Maybe try to refresh here to see if it's pinned.
well, that don't look right. When I click the link, it goes to something different. So I gotta better unclick that.
Yeah, it's pinned.
Yeah, but the link is wrong. When I click on it, it doesn't go to the helping hands. It goes to a name. So I got to unclick that. Okay, well, we'll click a different link for right now because I think that one actually goes to the right link. That's one thing I was reading on here too, that I think
Let me check this link, see if it'll work.
Yeah, where Donovan posted that
okay, yeah,
charity,
that one works. It takes you to Helping Hands for Cruising.
Right, that's what I wanted to do. Was I know Gary was trying to find one.
It says make this a monthly donation.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. I like that idea where you can make it a monthly donation. People can be encouraged that way. That instead of making it one time, you make it like a Patreon supporter and stuff, where you keep getting an amount sent all the time, and that's a great idea. That's the first time I've noticed that, and it must be how the accounts are set up, because I've never seen that on most donations. So that was a cool way to do things.
But yeah.
Donovan, is there any way to set that up to show U.S. donations, or does it always just default to Aussie, since that's where the charity's at?
It's set in Aussie dollars. That's how they've got it set up.
Yeah, I always find it rough to sit there and try to see what the current donation is when I'm bopping back and forth.
Cruising on the high seas. This goes a little over $3,000.
Hey, good morning, Rob. Glad to see you here. Yeah, I think setting a link up for a monthly donation is a great way for people to support the charity ongoing instead of just a one-shot deal. Yeah, plus, it also acts like a payment plan, so it doesn't hurt if you want to donate a large amount and you can't afford to. You can do it just like monthly installments that way. So I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see. I've got something here that's. There we go. My scroller went off. I wanted to get that
If
back.
I remember right, I think the Q's Cruisers, they're getting ready to go on a cruise here in about less than 21 days, aren't they?
Yeah, they'll be on the one on March 5th, I believe, on the Vista with me. They'll be there, and Nautical Nurse Nancy, and there's at least a half a dozen different people there that'll be
And I
on that
think,
cruise.
is that the same one?
The same one as who?
Is that the same one that Plump Travelers is going on as well?
He won't be on that one. He's going on. I think he's going on. The one he's going on is a Mexican Riviera one. I think that's later this month.
Well, I know he said it's going to be his very first one.
Yeah, I
And
was
he's going
talking.
to be.
I
He's
was
going to be
talking with
doing.
him last night till like 3 a.m, and
Yeah.
because we were trying to get it set up, make sure he can still go on this cruise too. So.
And I think he said it was March the 7th through the March the 7th through the 12th or 14th or something like that. I think, or something like that. Isn't it?
I can't remember. I know it's coming up here real soon, but I know it wasn't on any of the ones that I was going to be on. So I got to the point anymore. I get them all confused. Panorama, yes, Rob, you're right. That's what he'll be on. That's it. But I couldn't remember. But he'll be on that one, and then he was talking about another one he had been looking at, but of course he wants to go on our cruise in October, so he's just he'd never traveled on a cruise before, and now he's traveling solo as well, so it's all kind of a new experience. And I told him, I said, well, I can tell you from experience, traveling solo can be a lot of fun, so I'm enjoying it.
I knew that he was really looking forward to getting to meet me in October, but he's having to cancel that cruise.
I think he's going to be back on it, though. That's what I was talking to him about last night. I think he's going to share a room with me so that he can still go.
Oh, okay. So he is going to come back on the Carnival Horizon then?
I think so. Like I said, that's what we were talking about last night. I've got a note into Cindy to find out what we need to do to add him to my room. And I think he'll be able to still go. So I think he may be back on.
Okay. Because I remember he was saying how sad he was.
Oh, yeah.
Not going to be able to meet me in person.
Yeah, he was not very happy with that, especially as much as he's worked to help promote it and everything. And so I'm glad that we can get it arranged where he can go again.
Yeah, I was really hoping that he could, because I mean, he really, as much as he's promoted this Carnival Horizon, he really deserves to be able to go on it.
Oh yeah, he's done a lot to promote it, and it was just killing him to have to back out of that. So I'm glad we were able to make arrangements for him.
Good morning, man.
What'd you say?
I was telling Lance good morning.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're both greeting him at the same time.
Boondocking with Boomer, yeah. I try to make sure that I greet everybody.
You're definitely good about that. Even when you're on the phone and can't tag, you still take care of it.
Yeah.
Let's see, what do we got? We got 15 people on now, so that's not too bad.
Yeah.
Okay. But no, I think it's time we play your favorite video.
All right.
Let's see, where is it?
I'm gonna say, let me do this.
Okay, there it is.
Have you ever dreamt about taking a cruise on one of them fancy boats, soaking up the beauty and the magic just to free your soul? It's floating on the ocean, just a notion that seems out of reach. One thing on your bucket list is just to go and see the beach. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
You know you gotta do the things you've only dreamed about. Don't let anything stop you thinking you can't go all out. You can do the things you never thought were possible with Helping Hands to help you get there. Even oceans are no obstacle. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
So if you ever dreamed about taking a cruise in one of them big old boats, soaking up that sun, feel that breeze, yeah, there is still hope. Don't let the ocean be a notion that is out of reach. Let's get together, help each other, and go see the sea. You wanna see the world, but something always holds you back. You've got that itching feeling, but your dreams got hijacked. There's lots of people out there that never get to cruise, but Helping Hands is helping making dreams come true.
Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, cruising. Helping Hands for cruising, making your dream a reality.
There you go. Now that'll help brighten up your day.
Yes.
So
Hey,
I was normally not a big fan of rap music because I can't understand the words, but this one I can understand the words, and now I catch myself humming it all the time and singing parts of it. And even this weekend when Kim and Megan came by, when we didn't have it on the TV, they caught me still humming it and said they pointed out. I didn't even realize I was doing it. I guess it just gets to be habit.
yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm with you, Dewey. I never have been much of a rap or a hard rock music because a lot of that stuff to me, you can't understand the words, but now that you can really understand what they're actually singing. So,
Oh yeah, yeah, and they're very meaningful too. That's what's cool about it. It's
Yeah.
not just a bunch of words. So
yeah, to me, when it gets to where you can't understand what they're singing about or anything like that, to me, they're just making racket, just making
Yeah.
noise.
what I'm trying to do is I always have put magnets on my doors on cruises.
Yeah,
And I made me a magnet for Helping Hand for cruising, and it's got the QR code and everything on it, so I can add that to my selection of stuff. But I'm also trying to get a one of my tablets set up where I could put this and the other video on, just kind of put in a loop where they play on my door all the time, so people can get more information seeing that too. So I'm still working on that.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I need to make me a quick note here. I just thought of something. And so I got enough stuff hanging. The one thing I don't like about the Carnival doors is they got like some kind of laminate on them, and you got to have a really strong magnet for things to stick. They don't always stick there, but fortunately they'll stick on the walls right next to the door. So some things they can put on the door, some things they can put on the walls. But I think it'd be cool if I can get that tablet up there so that people can see what it's about instead of just because looking at static information that doesn't, unless they actually scan the QR code and go places, they're not going to learn much about it. So, and I also want to try and make up some kind of a flyer that I can put like in a pocket thing on the wall so people can take with them as well. So that's kind of the things I'm trying to work on before my next cruise, so I can start having that stuff.
You've been on many cruises in your lifetime, haven't you, Dewey?
Yeah, mostly in the last 6 months or so. So before COVID, I'd only been on 3 different cruises. But because I was a working person and didn't have the time and stuff. And then I retired at the beginning of 2020 with the idea of traveling all the time. And of course, then COVID hit. So that kind of blew the heck out of all those plans for a while. And then I waited till summertime when you could at least start going places. And I went to Branson, did the train trip, started doing all-inclusives. And then when cruising started back up, I think this trip coming up this weekend will be my 15th cruise since cruising restarted. So I've done a lot in a short period of time.
Yeah, you have.
And I got a lot more. I still have like 17 more this year to do. So, and then that's not counting next year or the World Cruise either. The World Cruise will be fun. I still haven't wrapped my head around that one, trying to be gone for 9 months. And how do you pack for something like that?
Yeah, I know.
I'm going on that ship in October. I call it my dry run because I want to see if I like the ship. Because if I don't like the ship, no use spending 9 months on it. Plus, I'm going to be in a room that's just 2 doors down from the room I'll have on the World Cruise, and then I can see just how much room I have so I know how much I can bring with me and where I can stuff it all. Because they give us 3 bags of laundry a week as part of the cruise so we can keep things clean, but you don't want to keep wearing the same old stuff. I'm kind of as bad as a woman when it comes to that. I like to have a variety of clothes to wear, so I always
I'm the same way. I'm the same way because I like to try to take as much because I know washing them at the laundromat could get very expensive.
Yeah. And when you can get them to do, I often do laundry when at the end of a cruise, mainly I have them do it mainly because they fold things nicer than I do, so it's easier to pack things up.
Yeah.
But if I have time, then most time I just it all gets wadded up and thrown in there because I got to wash it anyway. So I don't always do that. Hey, Gary, do you think I'll like the Serenade? So I haven't found a ship yet I don't like, so I expect that to be a problem. But you never know. It's like that's why I want to go on it, see what it's like, and get a feel for mainly for the main thing I want to do is get the space.
Yeah.
Because then I'll know how much I can take. Because I figured if I can't take everything with me that I want, maybe I can ship it to like different destinations. I'll have to check with Royal and find out, we're going to be going to so many different places. There are places that I can ship things to, and they'll bring it on the ship at those ports or something.
Yeah.
Because especially since we're going to be in all kinds of climates, we're going to be in the tropics, we're going to be in the Antarctic, and so we're going to be hot and cold. I don't want to have to carry a whole lot with me that I won't need for the current leg that I'm on. And then maybe I'll just take a few clothes with me so it gives me an excuse to go shopping. And I can buy stuff in the different places we go. So Well, that's good to hear. See, I see where Gary was posting here about the kind of ship that the Serenade is. Said if it's good for Alaska, that'll pretty fun to be something good to be able to watch things from when we're going to these different places. We got a lot of sea days, especially on the early part of the trip, because um, so it'd be nice to have things like that. And of course, I love getting up early in the morning, watching the sunrise and watching the water and all. And I have my first internal cabin this weekend on the trip that we're on. I've never had an interior, so it's going to be interesting to see how it feels for me.
I'm very excited for my cruise coming up here in October. So
You'll have a great time. We'll see to that.
I was told when I go on this cruise that I'm definitely going to be hooked.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's very few people I know of that go on a cruise that don't like it, and once you get your first one in, look out. It's really well, I got addicted. I mean, look at me. I mean, I'm a self-professed cruiseaholic now. So,
yeah. By the way, I want to let you know that I did share out this live stream on Facebook and YouTube community tab. So
awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Hopefully we'll get some money. I saw where Donovan just posted we only need $42 to break the 3,000 mark. So it'd be awesome.
come on, folks.
We can hit that number while we're on our show here. That would be great.
Yeah.
We got a long ways to go to 10,000, but hey, every little bit helps. So I remember how successful we were the last one, and also on Papa Mozo's Pop-A-thon that we had for him.
Yep.
We raised a lot of money on that one too. So
Yep.
yeah, I got the pleasure of meeting him and his wife in person last week on the cruise. They had that cruise scheduled for a couple of years for his birthday cruise. He wasn't in the
Is he the same person as you see on the screen?
Yes. Yeah, he's just like you know, and that's a nice thing with most people on YouTube. What you see on the screen is pretty much what you get in person. His big problem was his health is not good, and most of the cruise he was just in bed. He didn't even get to enjoy a lot of it because he had quite a few bad days on the cruise, and when they got back on the cruise before they even flew home, he ended up in the hospital. So they thought he had a stroke, and it wasn't a stroke, fortunately, but he gets these seizures, Shelley calls them, and they kind of look like strokes. But I'm glad she was there because the very first full day of the cruise, I had gotten her a bunch of spa things to do to just give her a treat, and I was going to keep an eye on Papa for her, where he was having a bad day that day. And if she hadn't have been there for me to see that this, whatever was happening was not that unusual, I would have been panicky thinking he was really in trouble because he looked that bad on that second day. But fortunately, it's like one day he'd be good, another day he'd be fine. So when we were in Curacao, he had a little motorized cart. He was just bumping all over the place while we went ashore there, and he was having a good day then. So back and forth is the way his life goes right now, I guess. So they definitely have their hands full, and he can use everybody's prayers because he definitely is a wonderful person. So
has he got most of his memory back now, or
there's still spots of it that aren't working right. I've been amazed at the quantity that he does have, considering he knew like nothing after he woke up in May. But like Shelley said, sometimes he'll remember most of a certain event, but little details still haven't gotten there yet. So they'll be talking about maybe a group of people they did something with, and he'll know so many little details about person A, person B, and then person C, he has no idea who you're talking about. And they're all part of the same event. So things in the mind. The mind works in a strange way, and it's like some things pop in quickly, and other things they just kind of fade
Because
in and out. And
I
it's he has problems with short-term memory. A lot of recent things don't stick very solid sometimes. So he's definitely they've got their hands full, but he was a lot of fun. He remembered a lot of stuff, that we had talked about over the years. So that made me feel good. I remember back in, was it September, when I went on the Mardi Gras for the first time with the Sharon at Sea group. He texted me one night during dinner and wanted to say if I had time to give him a call. And at first I was kind of worried. It's like, uh-oh, what's wrong? And all this kind of stuff. So as soon as I got done with dinner, I went back to my cabin and called him. And we talked for like about an hour and a half. And I was just amazed at how much he remembered, because I was very careful not to say anything that he could say, oh, yeah, I remember that. I waited for him to say stuff, and then I could acknowledge, yes, you're right. That's correct. And some things he had a lot of questions on just because there were gaps he didn't know. So he was asking me about stuff that I would know to help fill in some of the gaps about certain people. Because especially all the people on YouTube, he's learned, some of them he can remember a lot about, and others he's like, I know they were important, but why? That kind of stuff. So
yeah.
So it's really fun to listen to somebody going through that, because I know it's got to be heck for him just to try to keep it all straight. Mm-hmm. I know how bad my memory is, and I don't have an issue. So he's got a lot of work on his hand, and it'd probably be that way most of his life, I guess.
Yeah, I do remember that when he first started having this issue, he couldn't remember anything past 1983.
Yeah, I guess back then is when he had a major accident that affected his head then, and so when he lost a lot of the memory, it was like everything back to that accident basically is what he lost. So it was quite an experience for him. I mean, can you imagine waking up not knowing you're married or have kids, or like he was talking about all these computers and so he said last time I used the phone, it was connected to the wall with a cord and you dialed it. It's like that would just blow my mind to wake up to something like that and everything be so totally foreign to you.
Yeah, that is a bad, sad situation. They're not being able to remember anything past 1983.
But it amazes me how much he has gotten back, at least. So it'll be an ongoing chore for him.
Very, very thankful that he's gotten most of his memory back now.
Yeah, there's little pieces I think he'll struggle with, forever. But at least he's got, a big part of what his life was about at the time, because all this YouTube stuff is relatively new for him. He wasn't before like 2 years ago. That wasn't a thing. All this travel YouTube stuff that he got involved with was relatively recent. So there's a lot there, and that was a lot at one time. Because look how many people we've all gotten to know in the last 2 years.
But yeah, it's been. But yeah, I look forward to getting. If I understand correctly, he's going on the same cruise as I'm going on in October. Is that correct?
Yeah, he is scheduled to, but after this cruise last week, they're not so certain. They're going to have to see how he does in the next few months, because as hard as this cruise was on him, if he doesn't improve, they probably won't make it on the October one, because all of everything he went through on this one, and that was just with themselves and me. You get a whole bunch of people, all that input and stuff. He'll probably end up being in bed most of the time if he were to do that cruise right now. and it would just it would really mess him up too bad. So he's got a lot of work to do between now and then. Let me just pray that he makes it so that he can enjoy it. Because I know there's a lot of people that would like to meet him.
I remember Danny from Griswold Family Vacay was saying that Papa Mozo was one of their very first YouTubers they've ever met in person.
Yeah, he was good about getting out there and traveling and meeting people. You know, he'd seen a lot of people already because, you know, going to things to meet people or traveling if he had to do something for a medical reason and he'd visit whoever was in those areas. And so a lot of people have had a chance to meet him in person. Yeah. It's funny here. I live just like 2.5, 3 hours from him, and we never got a chance to get together. Every time we scheduled something, either something messed up in my schedule or something would happen in his schedule. Like he'd have to go to Indiana because of his parents or something. And so we never got a chance to meet face to face while I was in Illinois. So I had to move all the way to Florida just to get a chance to meet him. But they're both people, so I'm glad I got a chance to.
Boondocking with Boomer. In actuality, yes, I have been up all night, but I did wind up actually going to sleep around 6 o'clock this morning. And I slept until about 9 o'clock. So
yeah, you have to rephrase that. You were online all night, but you weren't necessarily awake. But that's normal for you.
yeah, I was online all night because I did a 1 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Yeah, the last time I was online, you were up and online. So and then I got wrapped up talking with Larry, and it was after 3 o'clock, and it's like I got to get some sleep because I got to be online in a few hours. So I went to bed for a few hours and.
Now I will say I was fading out as I was doing my shift.
I wonder why. So you've probably been online with like 36 of the 40 hours so far.
Well, I had been up since 11 o'clock before I went to sleep around 6 o'clock this morning. I had been up since 11 o'clock Friday morning.
Wow. Well, between you and Donovan and Lorraine, so you guys are definitely working on fumes by now. I've been going a lot, but not online because I was busy. I had Kim and Megan here on Friday, and we were up till I think it was like 5 o'clock in the morning before we finally shut up and went to bed. And then we had to be up in a few hours so I could get them to the cruise port. And then last night I got about 3 more hours of sleep. So I'm way ahead of you guys, but so I can't. I have nowhere near I can compare to that.
But I will say, I do feel a lot better now than I did beforehand.
Oh, I bet 3 hours is better than nothing. It gets you revitalized. Hey, it looks like we broke 3,000. Yay!
Hey, congratulations!
All righty.
Now let's see if we can get over. Let's see if we can get over. Get up to 400, 3,400.
That would be great. We got another hour yet while we're still here. So We
Yep.
got to do that, people. We can do it. We got up to 3,000. Let's see if we can move it up there. The faster we move it up, the better it is. We want to get people on the cruises like Kenny's going so that we can go through this more often. That our current goal, we want to get 3 people a year, one from the U.S., one from the UK, and one from Australia. So we're going to need some way to do that, and it's help from you. I want everybody that's listening to this or watching online, think back to the very first time you went on a cruise. Or if you've never been on a cruise yet, think how you feel now, either looking forward to your first cruise or wishing you were on your first cruise. Now, wouldn't it be nice to be able to have a part to share that feeling with somebody else? I mean, look at Kenny. I mean, he's been just thrilled to death since this has all happened because he gets to go on it. And if you've never met him in person, this guy has a permanent grin from ear to ear that I don't think ever goes away. I mean, it's like, that's one of the things I was amazed with the most when we were in Branson. It's like, are you ever not happy?
Very seldom do I get unhappy. Now, every now and then, when something doesn't go my way, then that's, but I get over it pretty quick,
Yeah, and that's kind of the way with me. I'm not very rarely a downer of any sort, and I don't lose my temper very often. But there's been a few people in our travel community who have seen me blow up, but it's usually short-lived. And once I get it out of my system, I'm back to being happy-go-lucky again. So, oh boy, Gary's is looking back to his first cruise. He doesn't think he wants to go there. I think you're going to have to go there sometime, Gary, even if it's just in a private polo, because anytime you have a story to share, it's usually a doozy. Oh, I mean, I know how much we've been through just together already. So, especially when we were in when we were in the Dominican, when you guys were all dressed up and jumped in the pool. Hopefully, I've got an outfit for the next time we do one of those. So. And there's another Branson meetup coming up in was it November, I think. So it'll be interesting. Right now, I have conflict on that, but that's liable to change too with the different schedules. So if my original trip doesn't make it out, then by golly, I'm going to be in Branson again. So especially at Christmas time, I love Branson at Christmas time.
I will have to wait till 2023 or 2024 to do that one, because where I'll be going, not only am I going on the Carnival Horizon in October, but after I get back from that cruise, I'm going to be going to Disney World after that. So
you'll enjoy that too. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be my very first time in Disney, so as well.
Yeah, that is a unique experience all of its own. I've been there 2 or 3 times years ago. I haven't been there currently, but that was one of the first things Anthony asked me when I was moving down here if I was going to get a yearly pass. And it's like, probably not. I won't go there enough. I'm not home enough to go there to get my money's worth out of it. But I'll probably be a typical Florida resident. I won't go there until family comes to visit and wants to go, and then we'll all go together. Unless there's a special meetup event or something like that I go for. But to just go for the sake of going, I'd rather go cruising and stuff. So
yeah, because I won't be actually back from the Disney World until after the first week in November. So
Donovan says his first cruise was on Holland America, Rotterdam. That was my third cruise was on the Rotterdam. I did a Panama Canal trip on that, and I just loved it. Holland America was my favorite cruise line for years. And now that I've started experimenting with others, I like the energy on Carnival and on Royal, but I still do like Holland America. It's a nice, classy way to cruise. And I was supposed to be on the maiden voyage of the new Rotterdam last summer, but then, like everything else, it got bumped and postponed. And when they rescheduled it, I was already booked somewhere else, so I couldn't go. But that was going to be, it was like a 21-day trip from Italy all the way around to Amsterdam. That would have been a fun trip, especially for a maiden voyage. But alas, that didn't happen either. I have since seen the ship because it's been over here now, and I've seen it at different ports in the Caribbean, but I still haven't gotten a chance to be on it. So we'll just have to see what one of these days. Hopefully, I will get back on that, and I'll be on Holland America this summer when I go back to Alaska. So that'll be nice. But I love Alaska. And for anybody who's never been to Alaska, imagine however beautiful you think it is seeing pictures and videos, and then multiply that times like 10. It's better than you can ever see in a picture or video. Okay, let's see. Gary says a 15-year-old boy getting on an elevator with 3 Playboy bunnies, and oh my! And that was your first cruise experience, Gary? Okay, that I'll definitely want to hear that story about. I bet that just made your day. Oh goodness! Did they teach you your pole dancing techniques? Remember, I've seen that too. So. Okay, $664 away from hitting 5,000 Aussie dollars. So,
Yep.
that's reachable. We can do that.
And when if we do, if that's when Meg said that she would shave her head.
When you hit 5,000 Aussie?
If we hit the 5,000, she said she would shave.
Oh my goodness! Now, I was there when Troy shaved his. I think that was the same show, kind of thing that she made that challenge. So. Oh, it's till 4,000. He says. That's all right. Any goal we can hit, we'll work on. So, click those links. Matter of fact, we still got the link in at the top of the chat.
Yeah.
Okay. The link's up there at the top of the chat, folks. Just click on it, and if you don't want to donate a lot now, you can click a little bit per month. And keep it ongoing, because this is not something that we're going.
Well, I guess it's just me now. Well, he lost connection or something. Well, good morning, people.
Yay, I'm back.
Good thing I was up here wanting to do.
I got a little click happy when I was going between tabs trying to see some numbers, and all of a sudden I closed the window. It's like, oh crap, can't do that.
It was probably a good thing I was up here wanting to do it.
Yeah, we'd have closed down the whole feed then. So I'm glad you're hanging in there with me. It's funny when you do something like that. It's like, when you see watching somebody else's show when it happens, it's like, yeah, I can see why it's so easy for that to happen. Oh, goodness. Yeah, thanks, Donovan, for posting that link. If anybody else wants to come up here and join us, the more the merrier. We got room.
Do you have the paid version or the free version?
I have the paid version.
Okay.
Yeah, I figured I'd be using it enough. It was worthwhile to pay and support it because I believe in supporting software and websites and video channels and all that stuff. If it's something I like, I don't mind paying for it to support them. So.
Yeah, well, they've actually upgraded some new features through StreamYard as well.
Yeah, so I like most of what it has to offer, and then they keep expanding all the time. And I just, since I don't do a regular live show, I don't stay current on it, and I've been so busy that most of my live stuff has been simple stuff from the phone when I do a Facebook Live or something. And I originally had set up where I was going to do that whole evening from the piano bar last week, and I'd set that up on StreamYard. But then, with the way the Wi-Fi was going, and then when the piano guy decided he didn't really want to do that, I just went in and pulled it down. But I think I'd set all that up strictly on the phone. So that was going to be my first attempt at trying to use StreamYard on the phone instead of on the computer. So I don't know how easy that works, but.
Yeah, I never have really to be honest, I'm not really a big fan of trying to use StreamYard through the phone because for one reason you can't see the people hardly to bring them up, and
yeah, as hard as it is to use it on just a laptop, I hate to imagine when you're using such a small screen how difficult it would be to do it.
I find it a lot easier through a laptop or even a tablet, like what I have here sitting next to the laptop here.
Yeah, so it makes a difference when you can at least see some real estate, so you can make out what you're looking at, especially trying to read the chat or make out any of the little icons to click on things. And I have problems just with the laptop because when I have my computer, I have a full, gaming size monitor that I use. So I like screen real estate when I work on the computer. I'm a nut about that. So the more the merrier.
Yeah.
But I think that's just coming with age. It's harder to focus on things when it's all so small anymore.
Yeah.
But every time I get my eyes checked, they're not getting that bad, compared to the last time I went. But maybe it's just me.
Yeah, I've heard people they usually get that laser surgery to where they make it to where you don't have to wear glasses.
Yeah, that LASIK.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to. I keep hearing about that, but I haven't gotten bold enough to look into it yet.
Well, I was told that every few years you still got to go back and have that redone, though, because it only lasts. That's what I was told.
Well, if it helps, that would be nice because I know there's a lot of times I wish I didn't have to mess with glasses. So it'd be cool if a simple little procedure would fix a lot of that because it'd make it so much easier for so many things. I tried contacts one time when I was cooking as a job because you get all that grease on the glasses. It's hard to see. And without the glasses, it would be hard to see. So I was like, okay, well, maybe contacts would solve that problem, but I never could adjust to contact lenses. So I always felt like I was looking through halos because I've got real good peripheral vision. But once I put contacts in, I had like none.
Yeah, well, see, my peripheral vision's not that good, so that's the reason why I don't. That's one of the reasons why I don't drive. So,
Yeah,
and
Cookie says they watched YouTube on a 50-inch TV. I've got a 70-inch, and I'm like 3 feet from it. So you can imagine when I look up at that, how big everything is for me. Most time when I'm watching people's lives, they're bigger than I am. and my living room isn't that huge. So even when I'm across the room, it's like my own movie theater. So I kind of went nuts when I bought that. Probably didn't need quite that big of a TV, but they were affordable. So what the heck? Hey Donovan, does your wife take delivery orders?
yeah, that sounds yummy. And omelet. What kind of omelet is it? I'm assuming an egg omelet.
Yeah, I doubt if she delivers much from Texas though. So, what I like eggs occasionally here at home. I like to make. I take a pan and I'll put sliced onions in the bottom, and then avocados, and then eggs on top, and I'll bake those.
I can't do avocados. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I remember hearing that earlier that you weren't a big fan of the avocado. I love avocados. I can eat avocados on anything and everything. Yeah. I think. But so
now, if it's mixed in with other things like other spices and like guacamole and stuff, I can do that. But
just the avocado itself, you can't.
Just the avocado itself, nope.
Is it a texture thing or something?
That and to me, all the ones that I've tried and had, they've all been bitter.
Yeah.
You might as well. It's like sticking a pill in your mouth and just letting it melt without swallowing it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I don't like that, but I'm glad my experiences with avocados aren't that bad. Yeah, I can go through like half a dozen avocados in a week when I'm here at home, but no problem.
Got a troll in there, so I got rid of it.
Oh yeah, well, every once in a while they got to show up. I think that same collection of people has been showing up on my on my Facebook page too, because I keep getting weird videos and I have no idea what they're saying because they're in some foreign language or something. So I keep having to delete those off and block the accounts. So, but I recognize that some of that weird names. So, well, you've earned your keep. So thank you.
I got rid of it for you on the YouTube side.
Well, Donovan says she doesn't deliver, but she takes orders if I come visit. So wonder how quickly I can get down there after the show.
To be honest with you, the only way I found that keeps from these bots and things happening is putting it on subscriber mode only.
Yeah, that's one way to do it, but then you kind of limit to just the people that are subscribed. So I figured, I'm not on live often enough and have problems with it. So if they became a big problem, that'd be one thing. Well, I noticed on yours, before people can post, they have to be like subscribed and it has to go through like a 5-minute waiting period or something.
Yeah, it's they have to be. Yeah, you have to wait 5 minutes. They have to be subscribed 5 minutes or longer to the channel before they can make a comment in the chat.
Yeah, because the other night when Kim and Megan were here, I think Megan had to sign up for it, or no, it was Kim, and she couldn't post for the longest time. It was like an awful long 5 minutes when she was waiting to be able to post something.
Yeah.
Which I was surprised that
I did it that way for that reason, and that's cut out.
That's a smart idea.
That's cut out a lot of trolls.
No, I bet it has.
And
They're
ever
not going
since,
to waste time doing that.
ever since that I started putting it on subscriber mode only, I've not had any problem with any trolls, as far as I know.
Yeah. So
I've not seen any.
they're not going to stick around long enough to work through all of that. They just like to post and run. So
So you can have it set for 1 minute, or even 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. I've even seen some where they have to be subscribed 5 days or longer.
oh, I can see benefits to that because you get some people that go in and I've done it myself, so I can't knock it, but where they'll come in and they'll change their names or their accounts so that they have multiple appearances in the same chat or something, trying to fool people and all. But I've done that myself before, where I've tried to log in with multiple accounts, and I did that around Christmas time so that Santa could make an appearance. Yeah, it felt weird this year, Christmas time, not doing any Santa stuff because I've been doing it for so many years. I didn't even make a video this year. I did one last year, but I didn't make a new one. I wasn't home enough this year to do it.
So, do you like living in Florida better than Illinois?
Definitely. I like the warmer weather, which is weird for me because I never considered myself a warm weather person. But as I've gotten older, I guess I've learned to adapt to it. And even with the humidity, my skin seems to like it. I usually have real dry skin problems, especially in the winter up north, where down here it's humid all the time, so I don't have that problem. And I love everything is green all the time. And I didn't really realize how much I'd gotten to love that till I went home at Christmas time to Illinois, and everything was so gray and brown and dark and bleak. It's like, egads. Now I know why I like it down there. So, and I'm far enough south here in Florida because they got pretty cold in northern part of Florida, even Orlando. That the cruise last week with Papa Mozo, the day we got on the cruise, it was 49 degrees that morning when we woke up. And when I got on the ship, you boarded the ship right at the central atrium area with the bar. And it was too cold to sit at the bar because there was so much cold air coming in. So that's something you don't see too often on a ship, where it's too cold to be there. Usually people complain it's too warm. But all the staff that were working, they were bundled up in coats, and they were freezing because they're not used to that. But luckily down here, we don't get that cold. And I did see a post the other day where I guess Miami did have snow once. Didn't last long, but they had enough to be able to take a picture of it. So, but that was a long time ago too. So down around here, we'll have cool days where it get down to the 60s maybe this time of year for a couple of weeks, but then it warms up. And yesterday, I think it was up over 80. And today it's rainy right now. It's been raining ever since I got up. My poor dog's running around with her legs crossed because she needs to go out, but she won't go out in the rain. So,
Is it really?
Yeah, it's been snowing since 5 o'clock this morning.
Really?
did I hear snow?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Well, keep it up that way. We don't want any down here.
I don't even want it here.
Oh, where you're at, though, it probably doesn't stay around that long, does it?
Depends.
Depends on how cold.
Depends on how cold and stuff.
We got about a quarter inch right now.
Quarter inch of snow right now.
That's a quarter inch too much for me. So, and it's funny because I used to be a cold and snow person. Good morning, Angela. Welcome. Good to see you here. Yeah, when I was younger, I loved the cold and the snow. I would have never thought I would move to warm climate.
I know that I got really spoiled when I went to Quartzsite, Arizona.
Uh,
I
Arizona's a whole different bird because you got a lot of heat, but you don't have all that humidity.
yeah, I love that. I love that dry heat.
Oh yeah, I had
And
friends that lived in Phoenix, and they would often talk about how it was sweater weather when it was in the 70s and 80s, and it's like you're nuts. But yeah, without humidity, 70s and 80s still feel cool. Down here with the humidity, it definitely doesn't feel cool when it's 80s, but
I like that dry heat better than what we have here in Tennessee because
yeah.
we have all that humidity and stuff and things.
And that was the way in Illinois too. We had a lot of
and it would and it would it would be in around 60, 70 degrees during the day, you know. And it would only get cold during the night. It get down to like 30s and 40s at night though in the
yeah.
desert.
Ooh, Angela says it's 15 degrees where she's at right now. It's like, whoo.
It's 33 right now where I'm at.
What do we got here today? It's 67 here, so and it looks like it'll be raining for a while. So
I love
that's cool for here, but it's pleasant for me compared to what I'm used to with this time
I'd
of year.
love to have that 67-degree weather.
Yeah. So I don't mind. I don't wear long pants. The only time I've worn long pants is when I travel north. I did put long pants on when we went on the cruise because it was chilly that day, and when I've gone to the theater. Otherwise, you never catch me in long pants. But I've always got shorts on down here. It's just to me, it's a matter of principle.
I'm actually the opposite.
You'll never be out of long pants, huh?
I'm actually the opposite. It could be 80, 90, 100 degrees, and you'll find me in a pair of jeans.
You're gonna die when you get down here in the tropics. Then with heat and humidity, especially in October, it can be kind of icky. When I know in October there was 1 week where it was so hot and humid, it was miserable. Even I cut short of an island visit to get back on the ship where the air conditioning was.
And you will not find me in a pair of sweatpants either. Not outside, not out in public. You won't. And the only time I wear sweatpants is if I'm going to bed or something like that, or just piddling around, not going anywhere, you know, or in the hospital or something like that. But as soon as I'm ready to leave that hospital, I'm putting on a pair of jeans. I've always been that way.
Yeah, I didn't wear shorts that often up north, but down here I do with no problem. So
yeah, what I will not. Nope, I will not wear a pair of shorts. You will never see me in a pair of shorts.
Well, we'll see what happens by October. Maybe we can make a convert of you yet.
Nope.
Let's see. Can we get Kenny in a Speedo at the pool?
Not in this lifetime. You won't see me in a pair of shorts.
Oh my goodness. Hey Tyler, good to see you. Thanks for joining the show today.
Hey Tyler, I tell you, there's two reasons why I do not wear shorts. One, I never did like wearing shorts. I never did like them, and I don't think my legs is that pretty to look at.
Well, that's often been my problems. I have some of the
And
ugliest legs.
and two, it's actually against our religion.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. Mine was always just a
So
personal taste issue. I didn't like to be seen.
that's one of the reasons. That's two of the reasons why I do not wear shorts.
Well, Rob says he'll offer $1,000 to see you in a Speedo at the pool. So.
That won't happen either.
For $1,000?
No.
Hey, that would help jump our numbers up really good.
I tell you what, for $1,000, I'd drop my britches right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think twice myself. I don't even know if I could get in a Speedo without it looking obscene. Black market photos of Kenny in shorts. Oh my goodness. That Paul, we'll have to talk. Maybe we can use that for blackmail on the cruise and have some fun with them.
If you want to take the water down, honey, I had to remake it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I tend to get a little bold and adventuresome sometimes, but I don't know if I could get that bold. You wouldn't want to see all of this in a Speedo. Well, we sure been killing time well. We've been on an hour and a half already.
Yeah.
That's surprising. Look at the schedule, see who's on next. Let's see. Today is Sunday.
You on till 11?
Yep. Cruising scene is on at 11.
I actually gotta go over there on the cruising team. I'm gonna be their first interview, and it's gonna be their very first live stream.
Oh, cool. Well, I know how much I appreciated Donovan's help here, so I'm sure they'll appreciate getting some help as well and I've done it before, so and I still was making mistakes. So.
Well, I'll be helping with them how to run how to do some things on the channel and stuff, how to make moderators and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I'll be helping them give them a few pointers and stuff because it's their very first one. I had them come up on my live stream yesterday to make so I could get them to practice on them coming up on screen.
Yeah, good.
Because
one thing I found, it's a lot easier to come up as a guest than to be the host.
yeah.
Because I was running my own live there for a few weeks, but I didn't find that to be as enjoyable or as beneficial as I do when I just show up on somebody else's as a guest or just for fun, and I enjoy that much more. So, thank you, Angela. That's why one of the things I want to be able to do is work out the ability to do videos on my laptop. So when I'm on the big cruise, I'll be able to post more from the trip instead of just Facebook posts and stuff. I'd like to be able to do like at least one live a week, or when I'm at some really neat places to be able to do some stuff from there. So I'm gonna really be working on fine tuning, or I shouldn't say fine tuning, flat out learning the software and getting my system set up so that it can handle it. Because right now I got so much on my computer, I'm having problems with space issues a lot of times, so I'm constantly having to move things around, and I got to get all that worked out before that trip because I don't want to. I want to do the best I can while I'm on it to capitalize on all that. And at least with a lot of the C days on that one, it'll give me time to get some stuff produced. So that'll be good opportunities to use that time for that. Got all these people eating omelets now. I'm starting to get hungry. I know what I'll be doing when my time's up. I got to go make me some breakfast.
Actually, I'm eating chicken, so.
Aha, there you go. Now I had my usual morning startup. I had my orange juice, my V8 juice, and a banana. So that's how I start my day every day.
What?
It was funny. One cruise I was on last month, when they were so into service on that ship, when I got there was a fruit bowl in the room and it didn't have any bananas in it. So I asked my room steward, I said, "Well, can I have a banana in my fruit bowl?" Because I told him, I said, I like in the morning to have orange juice and V8 juice and a banana to start my day. I wasn't placing an order. I was just making a comment. Every morning at 7 o'clock, here came a knock at the door, a tray with orange juice, V8 juice, and a banana. And they set up the table with tablecloth and napkins and everything just for that little bit for me. But it's like, boy, did I feel spoiled and special. I even set my alarm one day because I wanted to make sure I was up in time. I didn't miss it. Let's see what the numbers are showing now. What are we up to? Let's see. Okay, we're at $4,184.90 Aussie. Let's see. We'll go over to the converter and see what that is. No, I don't think that's updated. It's still the same amount on here. That's weird because we broke 3,000 already, and when I do the conversion, it doesn't show that. So. Maybe it's slow updating. I'm not sure. Anyway, people, go ahead and donate. We need that money to send people like Kenny and others like him on their cruises for the first time so we can enjoy that smile and see how good it makes how good it feels to make people happy. So you can sign up. You can do one big lump sum. You can do a monthly payments if you want. That makes it easier to space it out and still helps us out. So it's going to be an exciting year, hopefully. I'll be anxious to see how many more people we can get sent out for the next year. Okay, we're still up a little over $3,000. It hasn't budged much, but let's keep it going, people. We still got a long ways to go to our goal. Oh, okay. Some of that's still left over. No wonder. Maybe what I'm looking at is just a current number or something. So, thank you, Donovan. Hey, good morning, Larry. Welcome. Glad to see you.
Good morning, Plump Travelers.
Were your ears buzzing? We were talking about you a little bit ago.
But it was all good things.
Yep, it was good. We didn't even have to make it up. Hopefully you got some sleep last night.
Man. But Yeah, that was good.
He had a pretty good show last night.
Yeah, I was there, and I was even I had to whack a couple of trolls in there because he had those. People were wondering. See, a lot of times when I'm moderating the chat, I'm there, but I'm in the background. I don't hardly say much, but I'm there moderating. I'm on what they call troll patrol.
Yeah, good old Kenny. You can always count on him to be in there posting links for people and knocking out the troublemakers. And how many different sites are you a moderator on?
Oh, I would say at least. I'd say at least about 30.
That wouldn't surprise me. It seems like any
30
site
channels.
that you're on, you're a moderator of. Between you,
I'd say at least about 30 channels. I'd say.
yeah, between you and Anthony, it's like I don't know who has the biggest total.
I say I not only moderate for cruising or travel channels, I do crochet channels. I'm in a mixture of different genres. Disney channels.
So you really get around.
Yeah.
Now, I thought I spent a lot of time on YouTube. You must never get off.
And things like that. So, cooking channels.
And what's wrong with that, Larry? Kenny can crochet. I can crochet. So I learned to do that when I worked at an Amish restaurant.
No, I don't crochet. I just enjoy watching others' talent.
Yeah, I actually learned when I was cooking in an Amish restaurant because all the little Amish ladies, when we were slow, they'd be sitting around a table doing that. So I kind of picked it up by watching them all that time.
I just love watching other people's. I'm into like there's this one channel called Katrina's Crochet World. She's also Canadian. And then there's cocktails and crochet with Coco. She's Canadian as well. And there's Granny D, a crochet channel called Granny D. So, yeah. So
I haven't followed any of those channels. I might have to go look some of them up. And of course, then again, that's all I need is something else to fill my time with right now. So,
well, I just think it's really neat on how they take such yarn and how they can make different things with yarn. And
oh yeah. Well, I had a job one time where there was some gals that got together once a week at lunchtime for a little crochet club, to help each other. And I was working on a specific project at that time that I was having problems with, so I started going to that to get some help with that. And that's when I found out I crochet backwards. And it's like, you think, well, how do you crochet backwards? Well, mine basically happened because I learned by watching people. So I was imitating what they did. So while they're crocheting forward, I started doing what they did from a different angle. So everything I do is backwards. So when somebody who knows what they're doing tries to watch me and help me, they can't figure out what I'm doing till they look at the other side and they realize, oh, that's what's wrong. Leave it to a Pollock to learn how to do something backwards.
But yeah, it's
Yeah, Angela, I do crochet. I can make blankets, scarves. I made a like a poncho type thing. I don't follow patterns all that well. Usually, what happens when I find some pattern, I'll kind of adapt it to what I know how to do. So I'm not a professional at it, but I can usually come up with something to work, and then I enjoy that. It's like, especially my big problem when I do things is I get sidetracked so easily. So if I'm working on something like an Afghan, sometimes it'll take me years to finish it because I'll work on it for a while and then I'll go on to the next project. And I'm kind of like squirrel, easily distracted and go on. When my sister was in college, and this would have been way back, probably early 80s or something like that. She wanted me to make her an Afghan in her school colors. And she tells me this in August, and she wanted it for Christmas in December. And it's like, oh, great. That normally takes me 3 years to do one, and here I had to get it done in like 4 months. I got it done, but I spent an awful lot of time doing it. And that was back. Do you remember the old original Farm Aid concert? The very first one? Years and years ago? Well, that was in the same town where I lived. And they did that at the Memorial Stadium there. And I wasn't the kind of person that really wanted to go fight the crowd. So I stayed home and I watched the whole thing on TV and had a party at my house. I had a keg in the refrigerator and a pot of goulash on the stove. And everybody that came over, it's like, well, help yourself. And I just sat there like a little old lady the entire time the concert was on, working on that Afghan. And as it got later and darker and I got a little more drunker, I kind of had to look a little closer. I'm sure by the end of the night, I was almost crocheting my nose hairs in.
But
yeah, Larry, that's my mom. She never really taught us, but she never discouraged us from learning how to cook and everything. All of us kids were able to cook as we got older. She was not a big cook herself, but she was good about, when we expressed an interest, it's like, okay, have at it. And she would help us and stuff. But, so we learned a lot on our own. And like I said, I ended up doing it for a job for 16 years. And all of us kids are good. The only difference is all of us guys are a lot cleaner cooks than the girls. My sister will dirty every pot and pan in the kitchen, I think, to make a meal. And her husband does better cooking than she does as far as that. But when she cooks, she's a messy person. So when we were kids growing up at home, we hated when she cooked because that meant we had to clean it all up. Whereas when I cook, I clean as I go along. That by the time I sit down to eat a meal, then most of the dishes are already all done except for what we're using. So we did, us guys kind of learned to do that better than my sister did. But at least we can all cook. So, and I still cook a lot. And I cook most of my own meals, and my big thing is I just cook big pots of stuff so I don't have to cook often, and then I just heat up the leftovers. Oh, Larry worked in restaurants for 20 years, he says. I was probably, I think it was about 16 years total that I cooked before I switched over into the hotel side of the business. And I started off in a truck stop. One of my very first jobs, I was only 16, and there was a new truck stop going in, and my mom worked at a mobile home dealership, and the guy who ran the truck stop came to buy a home from her. And she just asked if there were any openings because I was looking for a job at the time. And she told him about me. And he said, well, yeah, send him over. Said they were going to start me as a dishwasher. And then eventually I would learn to cook to help out on the front line. Well, the first day I showed up there, they were shorthanded, and I never washed a dish in the place. I just started right on the front line and kind of learned as I go, and I ended up learning quickly, and moved from there to the Amish restaurant where I worked for a few years. And then the town that I ended up living in for most of my life, I moved up there and went to work for one hotel, but it wasn't very busy, and I didn't think it was going to stay open long. So a few months later, I switched to the hotel that I ended up running after a long enough period of time. But I spent many, many years at that place cooking, and then I kind of switched to the front desk. And they say if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. Well, that's kind of what I did. I got tired of being hot and greasy and smelling like a French fry, so I kind of phased out of the cooking and started working more on the front desk, and then eventually became manager of the place. So I definitely started at the bottom and worked my way up. Oh, looks like Angela started off in truck stops too. Yeah, I liked cooking at the truck stop. It was definitely a way to learn how to cook food good and fast. And I even got to cook for Red Skelton. He and his crew were passing down the interstate and stopped in for dinner one night. And I didn't know I was cooking for him. I was cooking on the broiler, cooking steaks that night. And after he ate his dinner, he wanted to meet the person who cooked his meal. So everybody come back and they're like, oh, you got to come out. You got to come out. And all this stuff. And I was didn't know what was going on. And then they told me that Red Skelton was there and he wanted to meet me and all that. And so here I am, just a 16-year-old kid. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So I go out there and he was very nice, gave me his autograph, and we talked and stuff. And I went home that night with such a big head. I couldn't wait to tell the rest of my family what was going on. And I was always a fan of Red Skelton anyway. And then that just kind of locked it in after that. So I really enjoyed that. And then of course, over the years, I cooked for many different people at the hotel. We had a lot of people that would stay there because we had a small hotel. So it was the kind of place that people could hide out at, because usually when a star would come to town, they'd expect them to be in some of the big hotels, and that's where everybody would look for them at. Whereas ours was just a little 31-room property, so nobody thought of finding them there. So a lot of times they'd stay there and they could be kind of incognito and get some peace and quiet. So I got to meet a lot of people that way, and really enjoyed it. I probably enjoy the hotel business more than almost anything, and that's why when I retired from technology, I went back to the hotel business part-time just to give me something to do until I could start traveling again, because it's fun. I'm a people person anyway, so I like being around people and getting to the hotel I worked at was an all suite hotel, so we had a lot of long-term people staying there, so it was like family all the time because you get to know everybody. And I enjoyed that kind of thing. And if I ever had to go back to work for anything, I would probably look for a hotel somewhere to go to work at. It all depends on how things go. Right now, it's the roughest part of that was always that now hotel desk clerks have to do a lot of laundry all the time too, and I don't even like to do my own laundry, yet alone doing the laundry at a hotel. So that was always the worst part of the job. I hated. Oh, cook for William Hurt and Shelley Duvall, Larry says. That's nice when you can cook for people like that. I remember Ed Asner and Reba McEntire, and you remember the movie critic Roger Ebert? He was born in the town that I lived in, and his mother was a regular customer of ours at the hotel and restaurant. And when I first moved there to town, I would take her on errands all the time because she was like in her 80s and couldn't drive or anything. So I would take her shopping and doctor appointments or what have you. So whenever he came to town, he was usually in at our hotel, and he gave our restaurant 2 thumbs up, and he really liked going there. Matter of fact, when his mother died, they closed the restaurant down, and he had the wake there at our dining room. We didn't even do that when our own owner died. So he definitely had pull there. But we had a lot of stars stay there at the hotel, and that was always a lot of fun. And we had let's see, we had Cheap Trick. Remember that group? If anybody been around, they were performing locally and staying in our hotel one time, and there was some girls that came by and from a nearby town. They were staying in our hotel to go to the concert. They were all excited. They had backstage passes and everything, and they were going to get to meet the band, and they were just all happy. And the next morning, my mom was working at the hotel at the time. She was the desk clerk, and she asked them how things went. They loved the concert, but they said by the time they got backstage, the band was gone, and they didn't get to meet them, and they were so disappointed and all this stuff. My mom didn't have to tell them that the room they were staying at in the hotel, the band was in rooms on either side of them the whole night. So they were that close to them, and they didn't get to meet them. But of course, you can't tell people that. You got privacy and all that. But it's like, oh, she wanted so bad to tell the girls, yeah, you're right next to them.
Can I answer a question that Lance has has in the chat there?
Sure.
Lance, I was actually raised Apostolic Pentecostal Holiness churches is what we're actually considered. But here again, like I've said many times before, I don't talk about religion very much because I've learned from my own self-experience that bringing that subject up along with politics, those don't mix, and they usually causes controversy and arguments and stuff like that. That's the reason why I don't hardly bring religion up very much.
Very smart. Very smart.
It's not believe in religion, and I do believe in the Lord and things like that. I just don't like bringing those subjects up very much because
everybody believes in their own way or doesn't believe, whatever it is, and you can never please everybody with a conversation like that. So you're safe that way if you just try to avoid those kind of topics. I'm the same way. That I'm not knowledgeable enough in all the other religions and barely knowledgeable of my own. So,
yeah. I
think, I see you posted the link for.
I need to go ahead and head on over that way. Thanks for having me, Dewey.
Hey, thanks for being here and helping me out. I sure appreciate it, Kenny.
And I'll see y'all over there on Cruising Scenes. Bye, guys.
Yep. I'll be over there in a few minutes. Thank you. All right, everybody. Well, we're kind of wrapping it up here. We got another minute left, and then we'll be ready for another hour with Cruising Scenes. So I want to thank everybody who came here tonight or this morning to share this time with us. If you donated, thank you. If you haven't donated, why not hit that button and donate now before you head on over so we can get those numbers up there. It's a great cause, and we can't wait to see how many people we can make happy and give a chance to get a big old smile on their face and have a memory that they won't soon forget. And you tell everybody, just think back the first time you got a chance to cruise or your next cruise, your first cruise coming up, and think how happy that made you feel. With just a few bucks donation, you can do that for somebody else. So please keep that in mind and remember to share your time and your money and your resources. And we will see you guys over on Cruising Scene. So take care, everybody. Bye-bye.